Okay, 2023, January, it's I think 5th. Yeah, Thursday. I think yesterday I thought it was Thursday, but no, it was actually just Wednesday. I certainly hope it was Thursday yesterday because I really want this week to end. Job is pretty damn boring. Don't want to wake up early. But oh well. Anyways, today's card of the day is actually quite special because last night, uh, when I was shuffling the card, not a card actually fell out of it, and it was this one, Ace of Cups. And I thought, hey, that's pretty interesting. It just like basically fell out of nowhere. So I was like, okay, maybe this is a sign or something. So I initially chose this as my card of the day. But then I was like, this is a cool card, but I feel like I still want to like draw something on the next day. So I did that. I basically remembered that, okay, Ace of Cups is one of the cards that I drew. And then this morning I drew another one. So basically I drew two cards for today. It's cards of the day. And the card I drew this morning was King of Wands. That's apparently Indiana Jones. So let's start with Ace of Cups first. Ace of Cups is apparently a very good card as well. For apparently the Ace cards signify like a beginning of a new thing for any of the things. Like for Cups, it's about outpouring of feelings, creative beginnings. Fertility sees pregnancy. Okay, birth, attraction, your relationship, fullness, abundance, greatest joy, perfection, fulfillment. So basically a lot of like positive things like for Ace of Cups, where there's like, especially creative beginnings is one thing that I'm like particularly paying attention to. Oh, sorry, I wasn't showing the thing. But yeah, creative beginnings, because I do want to like try to make some creative things. I was thinking about doing like some art related stuff, doing some drawings or paintings and stuff like that. I used to do them a lot. I even took like AP Arts in high school, but I just never like fell through with it, you know? I did it, but never went anywhere with it, and I, did my college stuff, things basically not related to like arts whatsoever. And I think deep inside I'm still kind of maybe hoped that I learned more about art, or at least took on art as more of a, well, maybe not more of it, but just like continued my hobby of doing art. And now I'm just playing video games all day and doing these like tarot card readings and stuff and feeling lost and feeling bad about myself. But you know what? That doesn't matter. But yeah, Ace of Cups, pretty good. I was pretty happy when I first saw it. And then this morning, it was King of Wands. I think the King cards are also usually like very good. I think they signify like the complete form of the elements of Wands, I guess. And I think the element of Wands is like fire or something, and like the Wands represent something. The coins represent like earth and like material things, and the Wands, what do the Wands represent? Maybe I should check about that first. Here's a little like explanation of the minor arcana. Okay, Wands. Fire, spontaneity, fast action, passion, power, adrenaline, life force, creative fuel, and urges. So yeah, that's looking pretty nice as well. And the King of Wands, there's like the court cards, and there's like an explanation for that as well. So mature men, fathers, bosses, governors, trusted leaders, authority, taking responsibility, wise actions, protecting the status quo. Not really sure what that's supposed to mean exactly for my day, but let's just go to the part where it specifically says King of Wands. It says it's a estate owner or manager, wise, conscientious, educated, pillar of the community, good mediator, devoted, loyal, good conscience, can be strict and harsh, severe measures, and austerity. Yeah, honestly, I do not know what the hell how I'm supposed to read King of Wands there. Maybe I was really supposed to just like go for Ace of Cups, and this one wasn't really meant to be flipped over, but we'll see if we can make it work. Let's see. King of Wands. Maybe in terms of wise? Let's see. There's wise. Oops, it's not focusing. Okay, and educated. What does that say about the day, though? It doesn't really say much about it. Was I being wise today? Not really. I was still doing my own things. Was I being educated? Not really. Again, I wasn't doing anything today. So what does that mean? Maybe there's like this one instance where I was like, no, that doesn't count because I do that every day. That's not really. I don't know. I think this card is honestly kind of awkward to fit into what I want to do for myself today. So it's honestly kind of tough to deal with. But this one though, this one's very interesting because today actually a certain thing happened, an opportunity basically presented itself where I can try to how do you say it? I try to capture that opportunity, try to catch that opportunity, and do some creative work for myself. And I feel like this one's basically that. You know, it's something creative, like stuff related, and it was actually just announced today, and I'm pretty thrilled about it. And I want to just have a go at it and see how it goes. So yeah, maybe this is like a very good opportunity for me to, grow and do something outside of the mundanity that I hate so much. Maybe it's talking about when I'm like trying to do this creative work, trying to like catch this opportunity, I should be like wise and educated about it. Not really sure what that's supposed to mean. Conscientious. What does the word mean? I feel like a lot of the times where like I see a lot of words that I have heard like multiple times, but I just never bothered to like search them up. So I just end up with like a very awkward situation where I know the word, I've seen the word, but I just don't. But I'm not sure what it means. I think it just means good conscience. Oh well, it is right there. But yeah, I think conscientious maybe just means like being aware of the situation. I'm not sure. I feel kind of dumb right now, but oh well. Pillar of the community, good mediator, estate owner or manager. Nothing really happened today that's kind of relating to any of those. But yeah, maybe it just means I should put these two things together where like I should approach doing my creative work like in a wise way. But then looking at these two cards, remember that like the cup cards are the element of water, and the wand cards are of the element fire. So it may instead mean that these two things are actually against each other. That maybe being too wise or too cautious and too aware or too self-aware may actually hinder what I want to do here. Because like here we see Ace of Cups, which signifies like a new beginning of something, where King of Wands is kind of like the end of everything. So maybe it should be the way that I should ditch this because I consider to be myself to be like a very cautious person, considering how much I overthink. So maybe it's telling me that if I want to pursue this, I should ditch this. And if I want to continue my ways or my attitude of being overly cautious and overanalyzing things, then this is not the way to go for me. Honestly, that's just very interesting. Like ace and king, water and fire, woman and man. Yeah, honestly. Yeah, we have some very interesting cards here. But yeah, I think I'm honestly going to have to like give it some thought into it. Honestly, I am very much leaning towards like this new beginning that's signifying. You know what? Maybe we should do this. We haven't done this in a while, but I think this calls for like an immediate like tarot card draw. We're gonna do a thing where basically we're going to see how like me pursuing like a new creative outlet is going to turn out, right? Maybe I should, I think I shouldn't really have this like shuffling part here. Okay, I'll just cut it. Okay, so I have extensively shuffled this deck. So let's see, let's have a reading of what is this gonna be like if I start doing my, putting more focus into this new creative opportunity, right? Bam, the moon. Wow, we got a major arcana, and that's actually quite rare considering how many cards are in this deck. Let's see. Night energy, twilight, reflected light, illusion, deception, uncertainty, errors, trickery, dishonesty, danger, terror, power of feelings, hidden forces, developments underground, undercover, or in the womb. What does that mean? Okay, the moon conveys intense emotions. Energies press up from below, which feel uncomfortable. Sometimes things are just not as they seem. Keep it simple. Delay important decisions and actions until any confusing or trickery atmosphere clears. Maybe this is what it means, where it's like, oh, there's a life lesson down there as well. Knowing that difficult feelings and situations will change and this too will pass. I think what this to me means is that like this, in terms of like doing something creative, is something like I have like little experience with, basically. Like I don't really like, especially like the thing I am going for right now. I'm thinking about doing it long term, right? And there's like going to be a lot of like commitments and stuff. I've never really done anything like that before, where I'm going to be like fully committed to doing like something that's creative and not, the type of work I'm doing right now, which is more mind numbing and just like kind of playing and almost like what do you call it, like algorithmic. Like basically there's not a lot of like wiggle rooms for creativity and stuff. So this is definitely going to be a new it's going to be a new area, right? It's going to be a new world for me to explore. And obviously with like going into things like these, there's going to be like a lot of doubts, like especially self-doubts that I kind of already have, and that may very much like hinder my my road down this path, And I think this is basically what it means, where it's like down this path there's like a lot of like uncertainty and like ahead, that I must like clear them first before I go into it. Otherwise it's just not gonna work that well. Like there's just going to be too much of like basically myself holding myself back because of like my self-doubt and stuff. I have to like basically trust in myself. I have to, basically be the king of wands. I have to let my passion flow. I have to be the master of my passion and my creativity flow, and not let my emotional parts like over my negative emotional parts overwhelm and overtake myself. Honestly, overall, I think it's like a pretty positive message for me. The first 3 days of this new year honestly has been quite negative, and now it's suddenly turned into something like this. Like, maybe it's just that I am like, maybe doing this journal thing really is helping me. It's kind of like helping me to let my thoughts out, basically, instead of like, just keeping it all to myself and having them kind of like circling in my mind all the time. Now I have some kind of like an outlet for me to like basically let them go, even though they may like return sometime later. Letting them go for even like temporarily is going to be very helpful. It's better than having them around all the time, I guess. But yeah, thanks David Bowie. Fun fact, I actually watched this movie, The Labyrinth, that featured David Bowie, like with some college friends in my final year. First time watching it, and man, it was a weird movie. It had a lot of like puppets, it had like a lot of like props and stuff. Like honestly, I'm more of a fan of like the making of the movie than the movie itself, because the movie itself was just confusing, and was honestly kind of boring at times. But everything else, like all the props and everything, were very cool. And looking at like, and then there are like multiple scenes where David Bowie is just like dancing around and stuff, so that was nice as well. But yeah, rest in peace, David Bowie. Thanks for the inspiration, and yeah, I think that's it. Overall, today was, in terms of how the day progressed, it was, mediocre. Nothing much, not much happened at all. But in terms of what may come in the future, like for myself, I think it's quite significant. It's been quite an interesting day. We had two completely opposite like minor arcana drawn, and then we have this one here, David Bowie, who is like basically like epitome of creativity. A lot of things seems to be reflecting, like everything seems to be reflecting like the same or like a similar theme here. And I don't know what it says about the cards or myself. Again, I don't know if I should keep saying this, but it's like, yeah, I think I should remind people again, like tarot cards, in the end, it is basically still just like cold reading and confirmation bias. But I think it is in many ways kind of help, like, I don't know what I am biased about, right? It's the situation where it's like, being asked, oh, where do you want to eat today? And I'm like, oh, I don't know. There's so many options. We can eat Popeyes. We can go to like some kind of like fancy restaurant. We can eat this, you can eat that, or we can even just cook at home, get some ingredients. And then the person who asks says, oh, what if we go to this place? And then suddenly, for some reason, you just know, it's like, okay, at least I do not want to go there. Or it's like, you know what? Yeah, I really want to go there. It's basically like that. It's like when you're feeling lost, having something to guide you to somewhere is always helpful, it helps you to, like, when you are feeling like, well, not you. I'm saying it as if it's like some kind of like universal truth that it's like I'm teaching someone something about life lessons or something. But no, like, but just for me, specifically, I think having these tarot cards really helped me to get through some like confusing times, especially when I don't know what I want, and the tarot cards can kind of like help me to figure out like what is the thing I kind of want. Because, like, for example, when the King of Wands and Ace of Cups appeared, and then I said, oh, these seem like to be like very opposing cards where I can kind of like stay as the status quo, or I can go with the Ace of Cups and start something new. You know, and then I almost immediately gravitated towards the Ace of Cups, and I think that means that, you know, even though there are things in life that I kind of like value a lot, that like my current life isn't exactly that bad. Like, I have a job, I have a place to live. Things aren't that bad, like, objectively. But I still want to pursue something new, and that is just simply something that I think it brings out, the cards have basically brought out what I truly want for myself, at least in this instance. And for now, I think something creative, having a new creative beginning, is something I want. Very interesting stuff. The Moon, Ace of Cups, King of Wands. Yeah. Honestly, I was also very surprised when I saw like how the wands also represent like creativity and stuff. So yeah, a lot of things are like, there are a lot of like shared themes between the cards. This is a deck of like how many cards again? Like 70 something? Yeah. Pretty cool. Very, very interesting readings today. Oh well. But yeah, that's it for today, and I'm gonna shuffle the deck again and see what the card will be tomorrow. When I draw the card tomorrow. Yeah. Alright.